case study that this has been done multiple times. The human brain started translating to the computer what the next image is going to be.
Rolling through my city, this be trippy. Hoodlums all I see. Spidey sense be telling me that y'all should keep.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. Again, back in another episode. We're excited here. We have a great one lined up for you guys today. We're excited. Ready for dropping some gems with our special guest here today. Before we get into it, a couple of announcements. Guys, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and comment down below. Please support the movement. Come on, join us on the Authentic Podcast. Join the Authentic family. We have podcasts coming out every week and content popping out as well. So please make sure you go down and follow us. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on YouTube, and we're also on Spotify, guys. Yes. So make sure you go ahead, hit that comment button, like button, every kind of button, subscribe, and whatever you're doing right now, if you're swimming, if you're running, if you're driving your car, tune in to this episode because it's gonna be a good one, and we're excited. But guys, let's get into it. Let's get our red carpet ready for our special guest here today. Welcome, Tori. Welcome. How's it going?
It's going good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for making your way and sacrificing your time to be here with us today. We'll go ahead and get started real quick. Just give us a quick introduction. Give us your name, your age, your favorite food, and what you've been up to lately.
Okay, so kia ora. My name is Tori. I'm 23. I love all food. I'm a lover of everything.
Wow.
Yeah. Pasta.
Pasta? Favorite pasta?
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
By my mum. My mum's mac and cheese, yeah. And what have I been up to? Honestly, just work, hanging out with friends, going to the gym, playing netball. Not a lot.
A lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Guys, so Tori's been a bit modest with us here. She's gave us a pretty much small rundown of who she is, but she's actually, you're studying physiotherapy, right? Or you're actually physiotherapy?
I am a physio.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But you're juggling that along with playing netball on the side, right?
Yeah.
And you also, but you finished school as well? Or
Yes, I graduated last year. Yeah, so I'm a newbie, a new grad.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what's up right now? What are you up to right now, like post grad?
So I currently work for Waitemata DHB. So I have like a rotational physio job at North Shore Hospital, and right now I'm on the orthopedic wards. So yeah, I'm just seeing all of our old people and everyone who's kind of like broken a bone or hip joint replacements, whatnot. So yeah, just working in the hospital setting for now, and then I'll rotate to a medical ward hopefully next.
Oh, that's super cool. I guess what's kind of your end goal with that? Like, where do you see yourself within 5-10 years of continuing your physiotherapy?
Honestly, I have no idea. I think the exciting thing about physio is that you can really go into anything you want with it. A lot of people probably assume that physio pairs really nicely with sports, and it does. And that's kind of like the initial thought of physio, but there's a lot of different jobs that you can get into. So I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years or 10 years. Next year, I'm hoping to be in Australia. So that's the goal. That's the short-term goal right now, but hopefully still practicing as a physio.
That's super cool.
Somewhere.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
I love our physios. I had a lot of injuries in the past, so, a lot of bad injuries with rugby and stuff. So, I mean, yeah, that's super cool. So I guess talk to us about physiotherapy, like actually what got you into it, like what really made you want to pursue that career.
So same as you, injuries. I grew up playing a little bit of sport, and specifically when I was 16, so a good 7 years ago, I broke my ankle, but I had a pretty crappy rehab run. They didn't realize that it was broken until 6 months after I'd actually fractured it. So it was this whole long journey of rehab and then needing surgery and then kind of missing out on sports that I was playing at the time. And then going through this kind of health journey with seeing heaps of different people from different disciplines, where it's physio and doctors and surgeons and everything like that. I kind of grew to really like this line of work, especially in healthcare. So I kind of just went through that, met some really cool people along the way, and through that journey I kind of learnt that I really actually wanted, like I saw myself in this space, and physio just really stuck out to me. So that was kind of my one thing all throughout school. I was like, physio.
Yeah.
That's my one thing that I'm going to do.
It's super cool because I feel like physio, especially in New Zealand, physio is pretty important, especially with like, first 15 or rugby or sports in general at schools. I guess everyone's, had a contact or whatever with some sort of physio,
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying before is like, it's so strongly linked to sports and everyone's probably injured themselves before and gone to a physio in the private practice setting. And honestly, that's what I thought physio was when I first started studying. And then we started to learn about like the lungs and the brain and the heart and all this different anatomy. And I was like, I did not sign up for this. Like, why am I learning about this stuff? Why am I learning about the hospital? And that's what I was saying before, is that it just really it can take you anywhere. And that's pretty exciting. But yes, cool. It's a very important job.
Very important. I'm actually coming back from an ACL surgery. So,
ooh.
Yeah, they just hit
rugby.
I hit my 1 year mark, so.
Just got congratulations.
Thank you. I need to be doing more physio. So this is like a life check right here. You should be doing more physio. So.
Yes, please do your exercises.
Always. Not the ones that you come in right before, right? Do those exercises before you walk into your physio. Because you guys can tell, eh?
I guess you can see if someone's not progressing as you would kind of expect. You'd be like, And I guess you could probably tell in their eyes. Have you been doing your exercises? Yeah.
That's super cool. I guess one thing I like a lot about physio is like they give you like a program, and then you have to meet the requirements of their program, and they just give you goals, which is super cool because they give you a certain amount of time that you want to be back, then they give you a plan, then they give you these goals that you have to meet in these exercises, and if you hit those goals and those reps, then most likely you're gonna be 100%, back into it.
Yeah, and I think like in terms of setting goals as well, it kind of has like two parts to it. Like in the person who's like getting the care should really be a part of that like goal setting as well, seeing what's like important for that person, and therefore if I'm setting you goals, then they need to be meaningful for you in order for you to actually want to do them. So, but yeah.
Yeah, because it's not just like people. It's not just sports people that you deal with. It's just people in life in general who's just like you mentioned, like the old people, hip replacement. Trying to get back with their daily life.
Yeah. So I guess like specifically for me, my like the general like patient population that I'm seeing at the minute. There's kind of like 3 wards that we go between on North Shore Hospital at the minute, and it's like trauma orthopedic. So that's people with like, sporting injuries, where they've like broken a bone or they've just slipped and fell and broken something. And then we do have like our elderly population where they've needing joint replacements and things like that. Multi-trauma. It's all very, no one day is the same. It's all very exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah. A lot of people need physio.
They do. Not even physio, but like one thing that I guess that I was talking to one of my mates about, but physio is like not also a physical thing. It's a big mental thing too, eh?
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of patients, I don't know about you, but I've heard some people, my friends who trying to get back into sport and like it kind of messes with them mentally, and it can, like if you struggle to like try and get back, like am I going to play the same? Like I'm scared. I don't want to do like these exercises because what if I like stuff it up again? Like there's a lot of like I guess not mental games, but just like mental toughness that comes with it as well.
Oh, for sure. And I think like in order to be like providing the best care for someone that you're looking after, you do want to have that like holistic approach where you are kind of addressing every aspect of health and not just the physical health, which is so focused upon in like general healthcare. But no, I totally agree with you, and I think that kind of comes down to like patient education or client education to be providing that person with the knowledge, and so they can make their own decisions as well and know, what will help and what won't help.
Super cool. I like it. Gyms, guys. get some good knowledge in the education. I guess moving on to the next question. Speaking about goals and everything, you know, you yourself being, you know, well educated. And guys, sorry about to die. I'm just letting you guys know. So.
Cut that out, please.
I mean, I guess focusing more on our own community here. You know, South Auckland, Central Auckland. Like, there's a lot of us that are trying to reach specific goals. And I think the podcast, we like to help people from, you know, our own ethnicity and our community to achieve those goals. I guess, what more do you think as we can do as a community to help reach, like yourself, you know, our own goals in our life?
Yeah. I think there's generally two types of goals that you can have. You can have, and I've learned this through uni, you can have SMART goals, which is that whole like acronym thing. I don't know if you learn it in school too, like SMART, measurable. Help me spell SMART. No, it's not even SMART, it's specific. Measurable. I don't know, but you can have those types of goals. But
I know there's achievable.
Okay, can we actually work this out? What's the R?
Reachable?
No, that's like the same thing. Oh wait, I'm just gonna do a quick Google.
I know the last one is like time frame or something.
Yeah,
right?
like timely, SMART goals. Here we go.
Realistic.
It is realistic. Yeah, okay, I love that. So you have those goals, and in order to those aspects of a goal, and when you actually sit down and, you know, you have this goal, if you start to work it out, you need to break your big goal down into smaller goals to help you achieve that goal. And actually think, and it's like, what do I actually need to do in order to achieve this? And are there smaller things that I need to be achieving in the beginning before I get to this big goal? But then we also have what one of my supervisors told me is like dumb goals. And that's something that you can't measure, something that you can't really like put it down to you can't quantify it, but it's something like, oh, I would just love to travel Japan. And it's something that's like aspirational and something that actually like fits with you like emotionally, like something that's actually more meaningful to you. So yeah, I think when it comes down to it, you need to figure out what you actually want and therefore what you need in order to get there. Break it down.
Figuring out your purpose,
Yeah.
Figuring out your why. I think that's super cool because I feel like a lot of confusion in what we do and a lot of, I guess, you know, in high school and stuff like that, a lot of it can be eliminated when you really know who you are, what you want to accomplish in life, and I guess why you want to do what you do, you know? And it's that why kind of like solidifies your plans and goals and what you want to accomplish.
Yeah, and it's also hard, like, especially in high school, knowing your why and knowing your purpose. And I feel like you might think you know your why and your purpose, but it's actually really hard to figure out. And there's no age to make sure, like, you need to know your why before you're 20 or while you're in school. Like, that's scary stuff.
100%.
When you look back on it, it's like, oh my gosh, what was I actually doing in high school?
Enjoying a nice $1 million pool. Oh, sorry.
No, you're right.
No, I was just teasing. Nah, yeah, I totally agree. Like, I guess especially in high school, because, you know, you change personalities. I guess you can change personalities, and you go from group to group, I guess. That's the, like, you know, that early stages between what you want to do, who you want to be. That's when you figure out who you want to become. But even after that, like in uni, like people are still going through that as well, you know, trying to figure out what they really want to do. So
even after uni,
yeah,
I don't think it's there's no end goal to it. I think as you grow and you like develop as a person, you're going to continuously change, and your values and morals, everything's going to keep changing. It's a forever evolving thing, isn't it?
Forever, I like that. A forever evolving thing. The journey is endless. You don't know where you're going.
Exactly.
That's super cool. Moving on to our next question. Guess this is one of our favorites, and the podcast getting a bit popular by demand, I could say. But what do you think is New Zealand's greatest strength and weakness?
Okay, this is actually such a hard question, right? Because I feel like there's plenty of both. In terms of strengths, I think we do have like a fair few. Like one that I've been thinking about recently is like, and that I talked to my dad actually quite a bit about, is how like culturally diverse we are, and how like we have just so many different cultures within New Zealand, and it's quite like nice to know that so many different types of people call New Zealand home. So yeah, that's really cool, and I think from that it kind of gives everyone else the opportunity to learn more about other people's cultures.
To understand them.
Yeah. So I think we're quite blessed to be able to like be in a place where we can become like more culturally sensitive and aware of other people, and I think it kind of forces you to like learn more about your own culture, or I hope it does.
That's super. I love that. I love that a lot, because I think it was. We also had someone mention that before, and we were discussing it as well. And like just like shout out to Be a Wolf. Shout out to him. Like he talked about having it as a superpower. Like that's how superpowers. Like knowing that we can like different cultures around us, and knowing like that's a superpower. How we can know different communities and who they are, and that like a lot of it comes from like I guess growing up in primary school, like, different people, you have different friends and different cultures and stuff, and that kind of sticks in as you grow up, and there's not really like even though there's multiple cultures, but I feel like there's a specific like that family kind of, the New Zealand type of culture thing that's around us in high school,
Yeah, I think like everyone, like you have like your personal culture,
and
then you kind of have like your culture, and then you have like your environmental culture. So we don't just have one culture, but I agree, it definitely is a superpower to even be aware of other people's culture, because I feel like once you kind of crack that on the head, then fly away.
You fly away.
Yeah.
What about our weakness?
Oh, where do I start? No. I'm joking. No, it's probably been mentioned before, because I feel like it's such a big thing at the moment, and there was that huge thread about it. I'm not sure if you heard about it. They were talking about it on My FM. But it's about like essentially like the tall poppy syndrome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I just think like essentially we're talking a lot about culture here, but essentially it's like this cultural phenomenon where like we just want to sabotage people and criticize them and really pull them down. And I think it's kind of like, it's quite sad, because obviously we want to uplift people and, help people grow and become the best version of themselves that they can be. But I think when you see someone else thriving in different aspects of life, and that can be financial, that can be in work, that can be with family, it can literally be anywhere, anything, people just don't like to see other people achieve. And I think like as a result of that, people are kind of scared of celebrating themselves and their own wins, and
because they can get tear down,
yeah, and it's just sad. It's like also like quite a big thing in Japan. They have like this saying, I'm not going to say it in Japanese, sorry, but it's like something about a nail, and it's like the nail that like stands up gets hammered down. And I think it's kind of like, it's quite similar essentially, where like everyone's just like kind of forced to conform to society and, like stick to the social norm and don't outgrow your peers. So I definitely think that's one of our weaknesses.
It's a big weakness, I think. I know a lot of people talk about it. I know like Israel Adesanya talked about it as well, tall poppy syndrome, and just how like, and you're totally right. Like we talked a lot about it here on the podcast, about the crab theory and stuff like that, and about how you've heard the crab theory. Have you?
Explain it to me, please.
Yeah? No, it's not. It's one of my favorite theories to talk about, and it makes me feel like I'm a philosopher. So.
Oh, here we go.
So basically, what it is like, there's like these guys are they're fishing for crabs, and then he has a bucket full of crabs, right? But the bucket's not closed, right? And then the guy asks him, "Hey, bro, like, you gotta close it, before the crabs are trying to get out." And he tells him, "Nah, you don't need to worry about it." He said, "Why is that?" Because every time a crab sees someone going up and trying to escape, the other one pulls him down. So that's why they always leave the bucket of crabs open.
So they just stay there?
Yeah. So they just stayed in the same place. So realize none of them help each other to get out, but they always, when they see someone about to leave, they drag them back down to go above them.
Oh my gosh, that's really interesting.
That's
a good
super
theory.
cool.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, it's so true. Like like what you talked about before, you know, like we see a lot of our, I guess maybe family members, or I guess maybe our friends, and we see their success, and sometimes we can get jealous of it, or sometimes we don't see the other side of it, of what they've accomplished. We don't see, you know, some things that they've done to achieve that goal.
Exactly. You don't see the work behind the scenes.
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes we're supposed to be building instead of tearing down, you know?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, you know, why are we trying to bust down homes when we're trying to build some, you know?
I know, and it's just like, I think, like talking about it here, I think it's exciting to see people do well and thrive.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if someone's, you know, achieving their goals before you are. Like, at the end of the day, someone achieving something shouldn't stop you from achieving anything. So why are we like this?
Exactly. Always ask ourselves why, you know? Because if we can use that energy to, like, this, like, if you think about, like, why, like, there's so many, that takes a lot of energy to be negative towards someone else. It takes a lot of energy.
For sure.
But if someone can, like, internalize that energy and apply it to themselves in a positive way, oh man, like, oh bro, that's so cool how that guy did that. I can do that. Like, what can I do to achieve that? You know, like, use that same energy. Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Put it to somewhere good use. You know, like, you know, have you seen those TikToks where
Wait, I downloaded TikTok like 2 days ago.
Oh,
I'm
really?
sorry.
It's okay. No, you're not missing much. It's okay.
I'm one of those.
That's actually good though that you've actually just downloaded it.
Yeah.
You know, that means like you're actually very sociable, probably.
I hope so.
I mean, that's all I'm guessing.
Okay,
you
yeah,
know?
well, let's go with that.
You like to go out? You're outgoing?
I think so. I have my moments. I do love going out and hanging out with people, but I do love my alone time as well.
Oh, that's good. That balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because obviously, you know, you go out, you know, socialize. The worst thing is that you can go out and someone's scrolling on their phone when you're on a date, you know?
For sure, no. Put your phone down.
Yeah.
Talk to me. Let's have a conversation. No, for sure.
Are you hinting towards someone that
Like, no.
I'm kidding. No, but that's a big, like, I guess, you know, one of our greatest weaknesses is, you know, we just need to try and use that in a positive way, and that way we can eliminate a lot of struggle.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of hardships in our own lives.
Because it does kind of like turn into that, like, I feel like people, as you said, like internalize it, but in like a bad way. So if you're like pulling people down, and then you feel like you can't thrive, or like, oh, I don't actually want to share my successes, and it's just, you know, it just makes you kind of hold everything in. It's not on form, but yeah.
Moving on to our next question, what piece of advice could you give yourself?
Okay, so I've recently been thinking about this a lot, right?
Nice.
It's to stay on my own path. Okay, and look, everyone has their paths, obviously, and you're going to have your own obstacles. And for me, what I've been doing some reflecting on, and what I've realized is that I tend to jump onto other people's paths, and that's in order to make their obstacles lesser. And so I can help smooth out their lives, but really, I need to worry about my own obstacles. I'm sorry, guys, but I got my own stuff going on. And like, overcoming your own obstacles is only going to help you become a better person. And, you know, like, we're all put in this space, and we're like, our journeys are kind of set for us, and every challenge that you're presented with, you're going to be strong enough to overcome it by yourself. And yes, it takes a village, and you've got your friends, and help is always nice, but at the end of the day, you know, it's kind of like filling your own cup first, and making sure that in order to help other people, you do need to be in that mindset first, and you need to be taking care of yourself. So yeah, for me, it's stay on your path,
100%.
Worry about your
Facts.
stuff, and from there, that's when you can kind of branch out to help other people.
I like that a lot. There's a I can't remember what it was. It was on a podcast I was listening to, but they're just saying, like, basically, I'll summarize it. Basically, this lady came from a rough childhood, a rough background, and she did the same thing, you know, always trying to help everyone, but she has not helping herself. You know, people didn't realize until, like, she actually went out, and then, like, as she left, left her environment, went out, educated herself, made it. And then that's when she was able to come back, and help everyone, And I guess it goes back to what you said, filling your own cup before you can pour to someone else. Or I guess you hear they're saying on the plane, when you have to put on the oxygen mask on yourself first before you get someone else.
Yeah.
The best way you can only help is if you help yourself first.
Yeah, if you're in that place to help other people.
When you're at that place to help other people, go ahead and help, and that's the thing that we can, tend to forget is like we have our own path, we have our own destiny, but we're too focused on everyone else, but not our own journey.
Yeah, and I think like with this whole let's call it path hopping,
where
you go and help other people, you tend to develop like people pleasing tendencies.
Yeah.
And I think from there it can actually be quite dangerous because you start to, well, for me anyways, you start to struggle to say no. And then you're constantly saying yes, 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 and then you're kind of neglecting yourself. And like actually what you need to be achieving, and I guess you're neglecting your own path. So,
which is not good.
Stay on your path.
Stay on your path, guys. You heard it here first, Tori. Stay on your path. Stay on your path, or we'll make her get on you guys from all the way from her hospital in North Shore. She'll come out with her crew, with her ward, and
I'll bring some crutches.
She'll bring some crutches. Awesome. Moving on to our final and last question. What does authentic mean to you?
This is also a really hard question because I feel like it's so like open to interpretation, which is quite nice to be able to hear everyone's thoughts on it. But for me, I think like authenticity really is like a relationship that you have with yourself, and like it's that relationship like with your internal self and your external self, and you kind of need to find that match. So like your internal self is like, your thoughts, your feelings, your morals, your values, all of that internal stuff, I guess. And then your external self is more of like your actions and what you're really putting out into the world. And in order to be authentic, you need to make sure that your actions are reflecting how you truly feel, and you're not putting out like this fake stuff, essentially. And at the end of the day, you need to be able to like be vulnerable with yourself, be raw, and kind of like criticize yourself. Like, am I happy with what I'm doing and what I'm portraying to people? So yeah, for me, like authenticity is just kind of like self-checking and making sure that you're happy with what you're displaying and you're being true to yourself. Like, there's no need to people please. There's no need to make sure that other people are like happy with the way that you are. As long as you're happy and as long as you're happy with what you're doing, then go off, I think.
Love it. Guys, huge gems from Tori today, guys. Thanks for being here on the podcast with us, Tori. We're grateful for you and for your words of wisdom, for your sacrifice for your time being here today. We're grateful for you being able to share your thoughts with us today.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. Anytime. We're willing to have you on the podcast. But yeah, is there anything you want to say before we close the show?
I don't think so.
No?
I'm quite content. Yeah.
Nice. I love it. Awesome, guys. Grateful for Tori. Grateful for you guys tuning in for this episode. We'll make sure to put down her details and stuff in the bottom below, or her IG and stuff. If you guys see her, you can add her. See what. Why are you laughing?
Shout out Tori DNX.
Yeah, guys, come on. She just you really want you. Was it okay if I put on there? Right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Awesome. I don't know if you
Nah, do it.
didn't want me to put up there or not, but
Make me Instagram famous.
just in case some people want to say, oh man, she was so cool. In case you need a new physio as well. So awesome. But yeah, guys, again, we can't express how much you guys mean to us, Authentic Fam. Those of you guys been listening and tuning in, please like, subscribe, comment down below. Also, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on YouTube, and we're also on Spotify. So please check us out on our platforms, and also content coming out weekly. Please, let us know what you think. Let us know your thoughts. I'm grateful for you guys tuning in. Until next time.